Good afternoon. I'm Celeste Granillo, and thank you so much for joining us once again for another installment of Breakthrough News. This is part 2 of our segment with the wonderful, innovative entrepreneur, Gabe Arteaga. And before we ended the first segment, we were talking about awareness for veterans when they come home and the adjustments of coming back to civilian life even. And I'm sure too, you did two tours, but I know there's people who've done like 3 and 4, and there's some that have even done like 10. I think those are probably special forces guys. But if there could be one thing that would have made coming home easier for you, what would have that been?
I think honestly, the thing that would have probably made it a lot easier and could make it a lot easier is just lead us in the right direction. As soon as we get back, we get to the base, just have VA people there.
That's a good idea.
Have them there, getting all the documents, everything,
like you do like pre-paperwork almost.
Pretty much, yeah. So
they should probably like even physically examine you guys, like stuff like that.
Yeah, other than waiting for us to go there, they should be there.
Proactive.
Already anticipating,
That's a good idea.
however many of us are coming, have however many people there, that specialize in whatever field.
That's such a good idea. Why?
Yeah.
You got the word intelligence attached to every branch. Like, why hasn't anybody thought of something like that? Because then you do feel like you're expendable. You do feel like, well, now I have to go run to them, but I don't have the motivation to get up. Like that's not fair on your guys' end.
Yeah.
It should be something easy like that.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah,
That's a great idea.
Definitely.
Throughout your time of serving, okay, so all the years and the tours, is there a story of somebody either who passed away or even still living? Who do you think should be remembered?
It's a hard question.
There's probably more than just one, huh?
Yeah, there's a lot of people that need to be remembered. A lot of people throughout history, even people from before I was even here, before I was born. But I think people from our childhood. One of the main actors that I know I miss is Robin Williams.
Oh, I know.
He impacted my life. Just always putting a smile on my face. Every movie that I watch, his sitcoms, episodes, his stand up. He was just a genuine character.
Did it help you?
So,
like remembering, you didn't get to see movies all day long like a civilian would. Just veg on the couch. So like, would you think of like funny things and play it back in your head while you're over there?
Yeah, a lot of Patch Adams was one of my favorite movies that he did, and just remembering some of the scenes. Like whenever he went to the hospital and had the nose, making the kids smile.
Really so sad.
That's one of my things is, how can we, come back to that? Our kids are so small, so sensitive, and all the negative influences that are going on around the world. It's just, it's kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, I agree.
So, because that makes you wonder, where is the future going? Where are we headed?
Right.
And same question for the military perspective. Like anybody that you served with that has passed or still alive, is there somebody that needs to be remembered?
Well, there was when I was there was a few individuals that passed away, but the main one was that I felt an attachment with was our first lieutenant. His name was Luke Wallenweber. He had just got married right before we had left, and he was expecting a baby, and he actually passed away from a vehicle-borne IED.
Wow.
Yeah. I didn't get to go out on that mission. I feel that maybe if I would have, I probably could have assisted, in some kind of way, or maybe try to prevent that. But There was a lot of good guys that went there, but you know, a lot of that stuff you can't prevent.
Right.
Right. Even if we feel like we could have, you
Yeah.
know, that's how I feel to this day. Maybe I could have somehow. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's heartbreaking just to know that he lost his life, and you know, he had a baby on the way.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
His wife having to go through that.
Yeah.
Getting that knock on her door and she's pregnant. That.
Yeah.
Can't even imagine anything like
Yeah,
that.
and he was a young guy too. I think he was barely, I think like 24, 25.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's ugly.
And there's like, you know, 3,000 other stories like that too.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah. Do you think that, like on a small answer, do you think there's some people who go, war is unnecessary. There's never a reason for war. What do you feel about a statement like that when you hear somebody say that, or anybody's ever blurted that out stupidly around you or anything like that?
I mean, I've had a lot of people tell me like, "Oh, well, why'd you even go? You know, why did you enlist to go to war?" First of all, to answer that, I didn't enlist to go to war,
Right.
And I don't think everybody that enlists goes with that purpose.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, yeah, we all know it can happen, and we're all trained and mentally prepared for when it does. But I think myself, when I went there, I didn't go, you know, because I wanted to cause war, or
Right.
because I wanted to
Participate in the war
Right.
machine.
Right.
Yeah.
Wasn't your idea.
Yeah. My whole thing was, you know, just obviously I'm going to do something to help someone else. That's how I see it. War, it's not a good thing, but at the same time, you know, it's not a bad thing. It does suck that, you know, people got to die. But you know,
It's a necessary evil.
yeah.
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 And you know, like they say, all is fair in love and war. You know, like I read this thing the other day because it was actually on the Drudge Report, and it's a lot of Iraqi veterans and Afghanistan veterans. They're actually turning to the Greeks to help them find solace. They're reading about like their wars that they went through, and I think that's interesting because when Bobby Kennedy lost his brother, when President Kennedy was killed, he too turned to the Greeks because there's so much sadness, you know. I mean,
Great tragedy.
Yeah. It's so tragic. So he found solace in that, and then even in my own grief, I've done the same, you know. But they're finding it really interesting because they go, oh yeah, I've experienced war. I've experienced my unit has experienced this. I've lost people, like so and so has lost people. They're just finding grief in
That's
it. You know,
interesting.
they're finding solace in their grief, you know. And I think that's productive, you know, and it's safer, I think, than taking pills and, you know, and
Or
waiting.
chemicals.
Waiting for help, you know. I just think like, you know, I'm happy for you that you came home, and I'm happy that you have a family and you have kids and you're a productive member of society, you know.
Amazing
I think
friend.
yeah.
It's no big deal. I'm not a hero.
You're not. I'm just playing Daniel, I guess. But, you know, in all seriousness, you know, the people that you've encountered along the way, and the friends that you've lost, you know, you guys are picking up the mantle by doing these things to help each other, you know, and I think that they would be very proud, you know. I think that, and I'm sure your family's proud of you, you know, we're all proud of you. And I think the people that watch our shows are like-minded, where they support the troops, they support veterans, you know, they want to help. And I think people should go out and help because, you know, Rayathon's not doing it, DuPont's not doing it, Halliburton's certainly not doing it.
Well,
you know?
I think those guys had something to do with it.
Yeah. And they've benefited off of your work, you know, and the very least they can do is help. And since they're not, and the government's not, you know, the people should.
Yeah.
You know, if it's our government, like we say, we the people, then we should be doing it, you know. So within that, I'd just like to mention your company that you're getting started, and you know, I know it's been hard and it's not easy to start something, but I commend you. Yeah, and it's called Infused American. So if you want to show a couple of your shirts and where you want to go with that and why you chose the name.
I actually have one. It's like the very same one he's wearing. Very durable, comfortable. I wear it all the time. I try not to wear it too much because I don't want it faded. But, you know, then I'll just get another one. But a couple of my other people I know love them. I have one, love them, or wants them. So it's not a stylish statement that I'm making. My point is you're not wasting your money.
Exactly.
And it's going to I know this guy. I know him personally, and I know that it's going where it's going to go. It's not... He's not taking off to Disneyland with his family or anything, you know. So, like, it is going where it needs to go. So I would encourage people, it's not to push him to line his pockets. It really is going somewhere.
Yeah, to a good cause. And you're
it's not like a Clinton Foundation or anything.
Right.
Darn.
Where there's like people missing and all that afterwards.
Yes.
So, and then eventually you're hoping to link up with Objective Zero, correct?
Yes.
And so why did you choose the name and how did you come up with the designs and things like that?
Yeah, show it off.
Well,
this is the one you have, right, Daniel?
Mm-hmm. This is one of our first designs. It's Infused American. It's got the name right there. On the back, shows We the People.
1776, I like.
1776.
And then your name down here, Infused American.
Infused American is at the bottom. Again, We the People is pretty much self-explanatory. The whole thing with my cause for getting these shirts is to pretty much bring unity back to America. Like Trump says, you know, we want to make America great again. And how do we do that? By focusing on the future. We focus on the future by promoting positive messages to our kids. We pretty much guide them in the right direction and just hope for the best.
Right.
And with a lot of negativity going on, that's not happening.
Right.
Exactly.
These kids are getting influenced by social media, by the press, and all sorts of these negative stuff that's going on, that they're pretty much losing focus on pretty much what the country was.
Right.
I always think that after World War II, I think that was the less fine American generation that we had at the time. And pretty much...
There's no more of those same values anymore.
Yeah, and I think it all went pretty much going downhill from there. You know, we need to rise back up to be a great nation again. You know, like at that time we all came together for the one purpose. Yeah, it was through war, but again, we all came together as one. So,
and then we had and then my economic spin is we had such a great economic period after that.
Exactly.
You know?
That's true. Yeah.
And women and men both helped. And this is before like the women's feminist movement.
You don't have to go march to prove that you are a strong woman.
Right. They jump in there, took care of their families, and a lot of them even went to work, you know?
Heck yeah.
So, you know, men took care of our freedoms, you know? So yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. There needs to be, you know, family needs to be celebrated again. You know, friendship needs to matter again. You know, things like that. So, you know, and in my opinion, God needs to matter again.
Exactly.
You know, so I commend you on the work that you're doing. We're going to have him come back, and when he has new designs, we're going to show them off. And if you are interested in purchasing one of these amazing shirts, I'm going to put the description and the contact information in the description section of this video. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you so much for coming in today, Gabe.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, we want to have you back for sure. And I just want to thank everybody. Thank you so much to everybody who has served and who will serve. We really appreciate it. So you guys have a wonderful day. God bless, and we'll talk to you guys soon.
Take care, everybody.